Hi guys, so we are going to talk about my 3 favorite top drugstore foundations. We're going to start with the one I am wearing right now. The L'Oreal 24-Hour Fresh Wear Infallible Foundation. This is in the shade Light Ivory. Ivory 410. So this is a really good foundation. You have a pump here. It's very liquidy. It blends out beautifully. Today I applied it with a sponge. I really prefer to apply my foundation with a brush because I feel like the sponges collect bacteria that make me break out. But this foundation applied with a sponge is just like flawless. And I really love this foundation because I find it has full coverage, it's thin, it's not cakey, it wears like a high-end foundation. It also has SPF 25, and I just love this. Like, this is probably my second place, but it's just so good. The 3 foundations I'm going to talk about are foundations I use all the time. I kind of like intermittently will like be obsessed with one and go in with the other and then go in with the other. I really don't use high-end foundations anymore because first off, my skin tone is changing so much that it's just too expensive to keep up with them. And plus, I just find that these drugstore foundations are just as good as high-end. So this foundation is full coverage, it's liquidy, it comes with a pump, it blends out beautifully with a sponge or a brush, and it wears well. I have combination skin. I do get some breakouts, I do get shiny on my nose and my forehead, so I would say I lean more towards the oily side, but I know this is a ride or die for a lot of people who have dry skin. And this is just a really good foundation. I highly recommend it. It is definitely more on the pricier side for drugstore foundations. And a lot of people know about this because it's just a really good foundation. So if you haven't tried this foundation, I highly recommend it. L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. It is just amazing. So my 3rd favorite drugstore foundation is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. This foundation is amazing. It is super affordable. I want to say it's like $6.99 at Walmart, maybe $7.99 or $8.99 at Target. And it comes in so many shades. You can also get the dewy version of this. I, however, have always used the matte version, and it's for normal to oily skin. The only complaint I would say is it has a screw on top and you have to pour out the foundation. It can just get really messy. But this shade selection is amazing, and with the price point, I always have a million of these because I can just mix them to get the perfect foundation. It's a more thick foundation and it's on the skin. It just dries matte. It's full coverage. It can be a little cakey if you're just like really overlaying it on top of each other, but other than that, it's really not a cakey foundation, but it is a thick foundation. It is definitely thicker than the L'Oreal Infallible, and I just really love it. It's a super great, affordable, long-lasting, full coverage foundation. Again, this is not a secret. A lot of people are obsessed with this foundation. I just really, really, really love this foundation. I highly recommend it. Again, I have oily skin, oily on my nose and my forehead, and this foundation has better longevity for me than the L'Oreal Infallible, but I prefer L'Oreal Infallible better because I think it just looks better on the skin. But this is a really, really good foundation. And I'm an OR nurse, so I wear a mask over my face all day, and when I wear this foundation, it's super long lasting. It lasts for 12-hour shifts. My mask doesn't really mess up my makeup that much. It might definitely mess up your makeup. Like, there's no stopping that because it's a friction, like it's science, but this foundation holds up very well underneath my mask. And my number 1 favorite foundation, hands down, is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This stuff is so good, so good. It is made in made in Italy, and it is So this Catrice foundation is vegan, perfume-free, paraben-free, alcohol-free, oil-free, microplastic alternative, gluten-free. It is just a really good foundation, and it is made in Germany. It's mattifying, it's waterproof, sweat-proof, it's like second skin, and it's just absolutely amazing. If you're going to try anything on my channel, try this foundation. It is a liquid. It's really runny. It's very thin. It's like the L'Oreal Infallible. It's super thin. I have used every drop of this. I need to order a new one. But it's a dropper. So you would just drop it on your hand, which is super hygienic because you're not touching, you know, like with lids and things. You're just going in, squeezing and dropping. It's super liquidy. It's mattifying and it goes on so thin. It lasts so well. It is such a good formula. You just really need to try this foundation. So I have mine the shade light beige. This is like my winter shade. They have 23 different shades and Ulta used to sell this at their store. Yes, 23 shades. So Ulta used to sell this at their store and it was always sold out. It was really hard to find your shade. And then now they sell it on Amazon, which is so nice because you can get this in like 2 days and it's just really good. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna have it linked below. And Catrice just has so many other good makeup, but this foundation is like a ride or die, like amazing, amazing foundation. And it says it lasts up to 24 hours, which is very true. And like I said, I'm a nurse. I wear a mask over my face and this lasts underneath my mask. Like it's a really, really good long lasting foundation. It's perfect for oily skin, but you can also use it for dry skin. Just put like a little glowing primer underneath and put this on top and it would look flawless. So this is my #1 favorite drugstore foundation. Like I said, I really don't use high-end high-end foundations anymore, mainly because this Catrice one is just blowing all the other foundations out because it's just that good. But this is also very popular on YouTube for a lot of good reasons. So I highly recommend you try out the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I'm gonna have it linked below. And yeah, so comment below your favorite drugstore foundations. I would love to try them out. Like I said, I love high-end makeup, I love drugstore makeup, but drugstore foundations have just been so good lately and there's 3 that I love. So I just go in between these 3 and these 3 formulas just work so well for me and I love them. So I'm just saving money, my skin's looking good, and I just kind of switch in between them. So that completes this video on my favorite drugstore foundations. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in my next video.